restarting my print on demand business and I wanted to get to 5K per month in revenue as fast as possible, these are the 3 things that I would do. First one is I would list 5 products per day for 30 days. You're listing these products not to drive immediate revenue, but you are listing these products to get in the habit of being a print-on-demand business owner. It takes a lot of swings at bat in order for you to build the muscle of print-on-demand. We have an insane advantage in this business model to not have to buy a lot of inventory. We can do all of our work digitally from home. And so it's important to build that muscle of how you find listings, list those products, and make it imperative that every single listing that you put out there is going to be 1% better. The number one mistake I see with print on demand is not starting. You're waiting too long before you finally create your shop, open your Shopify account, get your first listings. You're waiting for every little thing to be perfect before launching. That's the number one mistake. You have to start moving and shaking and getting products out there, because transparently, the first couple listings are probably going to be bad. The first couple products are not going to sell. But I can guarantee you that if you have 0 products listed, your revenue is going to be 0. What I can't guarantee you is that if you have 100 products listed, that there isn't a couple of those that might start spurring additional interest. So the number one mistake that you can make is not starting, which the second one is going to be giving up too soon. So keep that in mind, that we really want to start building that muscle for print on demand. And you have to get over that fear of starting or feeling like you're going to be a failure. Your friends will not care about your print on demand business, okay? Obviously, this is something that when you start, it would be great if you got the support of your family to check out your listings, give you feedback, kind of give you a gut check on what your shop is looking like. But you must start, and you should get to the place, it should become very comfortable for you to build this muscle of listing products. And that's why we want to keep replicating this. That way each one gets a little bit better, and you should get so comfortable with it that as you continue through life, everything becomes a different product that you can sell. You're talking to a coworker and they say something funny relating to work and you think that's a t-shirt. You are walking home and you see a dog and you think that's a mug that I could make. All these different types of things that you're doing, you should be scrolling Instagram and you see a different trend starting to take place and you can say, great, let's adapt this for a couple of my listings to see if you can cross niche them together. All of these things are going to build the momentum, and we're not going to be focused on this 30 days on getting everything sold. It is purely going to be to build the muscle of print on demand. So that's number one. It is to build at least 5 products a day for 30 days, get yourself 150 at bats, and hopefully start to see some momentum there. Second one, and this is the most important part of this video, if you stay for just this one piece, it is use proven data. Now, don't get me wrong. I think it does happen that people can create these beautiful print on demand listings, super bespoke, super custom, and you make a lot of money doing that. However, I would wager that the majority of very rich print on demand sellers are not rewriting the wheel. They are taking a look at what is working, where is there a gap in the market, what trends are we able to jump on, and they are utilizing that proven data to skyrocket their sales. There's nothing there that you can't do. And so focusing on proven information and proven data is key to print on demand. I spend a lot of time on my channel walking through all the different trends that I'm spotting, what we're seeing perform well on marketplaces like Etsy, different social platforms like Pinterest trends, Google trends, all types of trend reports. Those are the things that should be your best friend so you can start spotting these waves early. In addition to these third-party kind of free sources of Google Trends, Pinterest trends, seller columns within Etsy, feel free to use this channel. I do a lot of videos about different trends, different niches that are popping off, untapped potential within upcoming seasonal verticals. Those are all things that you can take a look at and say, let's use this data to actually put a spin on my own listings and try to drive that momentum in my shop. For those of you that are Etsy sellers, the other tool that I would drive you to is Everbee. Everbee is a plugin extension that literally lets you see the back end metrics of all of the different listings on Etsy. So you can see which products are trending well, not just today, not just yesterday, but over their lifetime to see what are the trends of that listing. Is this still a popular listing? Is this just now gaining momentum? What are the different types of tags and descriptions that are working? What are the images that are working? And it really allows you to have this back-end access to every single thing that is selling across the platform. It's things like that that you should be digging into, understanding, and using all of that data for your 5 listings per day to make every single one of them better. And after you use these third-party programs, the other thing that I would start to lean into is going to be your own data. Obviously, we've just launched a bunch of listings. We're hopeful and optimistic that we're starting to see some success. Let's dig into our own data. So outside of the actual trends that are happening across the space, what are the titles, the tags, the descriptions, the products that are driving eyeballs and revenue for your business? That is where you double down. If there are certain products that are getting more attention, we want to understand why and we want to do more in that space. So let's say you have 100 listings up, 3 of them are actually driving sales. Let's see what those 3 are, and let's see if there's anything else that we can do in that arena, whether it's changing the SEO and duplicating the listing and reaching more people, whether it's tweaking the design and listing that one as well, just to try to get more eyeballs onto our shop. There are all types of things that we can do there, not just with product sales. Let's say we don't even have sales yet. We can take a look at what's getting the most likes. What are the different types of search terms that are having the most traffic? Different things like that will give us better perspective into what is working. So use the tools that are out there from third-party partners. I really recommend you take a look at Everbee if you have interest in selling on Etsy. And in addition to the third-party platforms, take a look at your own data to see what is working. The last one, number 3, is going to be building a healthy obsession with print on demand. I mentioned it earlier, the number one mistake people make with print on demand is not starting and delaying that start. The second one is going to be quitting too soon. Print on demand is a business model where absolutely you can make it kind of passive, but there is going to be upfront work here. The beginning of this video when I said you got to list 150 things to even get started, that is something where you have to put in the work with print on demand. And if this is something that you are tapping into every single day and you're spending, even if it is 30 minutes per day on this, you want to be happy that you're doing that. I started print on demand not with the expectation to have done over 6 figures of revenue, but it was more so I had some interest in some fun designs. I wanted to have my own type of thing that I can work on and build on my own. And I thought it'd be cool if I could make a couple $100 per month in passive income. Lo and behold, it turned into multi 6 figures of revenue. However, that was something where at the beginning of my career, I was very excited to come home and do. So that is why I also recommend picking some sort of niche or product or design category that you are interested in, because that way you can continue to build this healthy obsession with logging in, getting the reps in, and understanding the business so you feel excited to be doing this work, because it is work. Passive income isn't really a thing. Those are the 3 things that I would do if I was starting over my print on demand business and wanted to hit 5K as soon as possible.